Hi guys, I'm gonna do one more, put on a little makeup and feel more awake now, but I want to continue that series. I bought this cute little pumpkin, isn't it adorable? I want to wish you happy fall, and I dried my flowers here, if you can see, from the little bouquet I bought. I miss my garden, but it's nice. I have a couple plants here and these flowers, but what I want to talk about is continuing this sort of from the previous video. I want to wish you a happy fall and happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays and happy Halloween. I can't tell you the number of falls, and certainly around my birthday, lectures about how you can't celebrate your birthday. You can't give out a little Halloween candy. So imagine you're a little kid, there's candy everywhere. It's the holidays and you can't have any candy. That's the Jehovah's Witnesses. But the other days of the year, we can be child abusers. We can be sexually inappropriate. We can terrorize you. We can abuse animals. We can so on and so forth with the spiritual abuse. So yes, Holly in Georgia, I want to wish you happy holidays that are coming up, that you never visited, that you always caused trouble, and you always gave me these Bible lectures, these Jesus parables that Holly liked to call them. Basically, they were lectures twisting around the Gospels. And certainly she would always bring up my mother. They always brought up my mother. So we'll tend to your mother once in a while. Your mother was the one who was inappropriate, okay? My mother wasn't great either, but neither was your mother. And I certainly never put my hands on my mother. They always like to say, oh, you didn't treat your mother. But one time I defended myself from her blows, and they were often. So I got a little bit off tangent there because it's a little triggering to constantly, all the years of my childhood, be told how satanic it is to have a little Halloween candy. And these two would go at me all the time, and they still are with their lies. Okay, I've posted enough stuff about child abuse. They need to clean up their own sexual abuse in their kingdom halls, certainly where my cousins go and my godmother. So you decide to be someone's godmother and you terrorize them every birthday about how you can't celebrate their birthday. You can't do anything for them. Well, I'd like to ask you, Georgia, why did you become my godmother? And now you're involved in denying me my assets after another sexual assault. You all get together, make me homeless, and then deny my assets with my ex-husband. Okay, so you do all that and you're calling yourself a Christian, or you're calling yourself someone that believes in God. I'd like to ask your opinion, but certainly you're hiding now, because always there was a knock on my door. It was the Jehovah's Witnesses. I had lectures in New Paltz when I first went to college. I had to actually ask the woman to leave. I usually got talked into a Bible study. It's not that the Bible studies were necessarily bad. I liked learning about God. I liked looking up scriptures, but it was very abusive. And she wanted me to quit school. And so did these two, my godmother and my best friend at the time, who was home at 16 being pregnant. And the family rallied around her. I did too. You know, of course, she's pregnant. She's young. We're trying to make our way. And this is what these two continue. Oh, how satanic it is. Oh my goodness, there's a bowl of candy. A child has a little piece of candy for Halloween, and we're communing with Satan. And I can't tell you the number of lectures, so we can get a little bit more into that. And certainly we have them out at the bus stop all the time because they'll usually show up in my life somehow. So they need to clean up the sexual abuse in the kingdom halls, and I certainly experienced it with my cousin. She was 12 years old, seeing these two older black guys from the kingdom hall. 21. Do you remember, Holly? You remember those two guys? Your brothers, they're called brothers and elders and these sorts of very patriarchal, very misogynist, very abusive, but yet they'll go on about Halloween candy being satanic. And I'm not going to discuss in this video, running a little over and I'm a little out of breath. It's a little triggering to talk about this stuff and have these two continue with my family. And don't go on about special needs on my pages. I have half family that's special needs. I've always tried to treat them like family and brothers, and certainly now they have children, they have grandchildren, and this is why I'm speaking out. This is why I am talking, because there's little children now that are also struggling to grow up in these kind of environments where this stuff is still put under the rug. The victims are still blamed. We're still talking about Satanism. You know what's satanic, demonic? Domestic violence, child abuse, inappropriate sexual role modeling, inappropriate touch, different shaming, different inability not to support and talk and love and help guide children to grow up, and certainly terrorizing someone with literal Bible studies from the Old Testament or Bible verses. I mean, this guy, Tony, is an elder, and we'll talk about you, Tony, because you need to stop this, terrorizing little kids at the table that they didn't repeat these verbatim Bible verses while he was up there doing his inappropriate behavior. Huh, Tony? We'll talk about you because obviously you've all talked about me enough. So I would like to weigh in on this, that little children shouldn't be terrorized and constantly be told their Armageddon's coming and they're satanic. And if you have a little Halloween candy, I mean, can you imagine going to school? You can't salute the flag. You can't eat Halloween candy. You can't celebrate your birthday. I don't know why these people are in my life. They need to get out of my life. This stuff doesn't get better. And here we are now, and they prevent assets in my divorce, involved in another sexual assault, inappropriate behavior. Maybe you ought to clean up stuff in your own family, the alcoholism, the inappropriate sexual behavior, the predatory behavior, the lies, and start repenting. That would be a nice place to start, and getting your own family members in treatment, because it's been a long time, and covering this all up, how Christian you are, or so on and so forth, self-righteousness and bearing false witness. Remember, Georgia, we talked about these things quite a bit. We'll have to revisit some of these memories. Sorry to go over a little bit, guys. It's a little triggering because these people continue. And certainly this stuff goes way back to when we were girls and we used to play Barbies and my godmother used to babysit. And this is the kind of thing that went on. And it was very, very abusive. And she can't understand anybody that would abuse a child. Yes, Georgia, your first tweet on Twitter. Well, I think we'll have to enlighten you and getting you into treatment, because that's obviously what went on in your home, and that's pretty delusional. You don't know anything about it. We'll have to talk more. Be safe, guys.